how's it going? I'm Hunter from Over Yonder, and today I wanted to bring out this Pedersoli 10 gauge side-by-side black powder shotgun. Now, this is a shotgun I've had for a long time. This is one that was collected by my grandfather probably in the 70s or 80s or so. I actually still have the purchase tag that was on this gun when I got it. And if you look, you can see Pedersoli Dixie gun 10 gauge, and this was purchased for $500. Now, I think it would probably be impossible to get this gun for $500 nowadays, just due to inflation. I think these go for about $1,500 or so. But I've shot plenty of black powder, mostly Kentucky rifles, Brown Bess muskets, but I've never shot black powder shotguns before. And to be honest, it seemed a little overwhelming to me. There's more steps. You have to know, what kind of powder do you use? There's all kinds of different lead that you can buy, and they all range in different sizes, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I think. So there was a lot of research that I had to do before I even attempted to bring this out here to the range. And some of the differences between shooting just a Kentucky rifle, at least in the way that I've shot, is with a Kentucky rifle, you have just a patch, just a cotton patch that you place the musket ball over top of, and then you ram that down. But with this, with the lead shot, the loading process is a little different. So you have cards and wads. You have over powder cards. You have lead shot wads, and you have over shot cards. So this was all new to me, and I wanted to come out here today to try it out and see what I can do with this thing. But let's take a closer look at some of the components, tools, and accessories that you need in order to shoot a black powder shotgun. So this tool is what's called a shot dipper. And what it does is that, of course, in black powder, you're going to need to measure the amount of powder that you need to shoot. So this thing has a nifty adjustable slide here. So as I rotate the bottom, I can choose what amount of powder I want this thing to hold. So it goes all the way from 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces. But for today, the charge that we're going to be using is 1 1/8 ounces. And so for shotguns, typically the amount of powder you use will be 1-to-1 with the lead shot that you use. So I would use this to scoop the black powder, and I'd also use this to scoop the lead shot. Well, the next tool I have is a nipple wrench, because this shotgun, let me grab it real quick. This shotgun has nipples. And so in the operation of this, you're going to need to take those off just to make sure that they're clean, that there's not an obstruction, and you're definitely going to need to take those nipples off when you're cleaning your black powder shotgun. This, of course, you might have seen this before, is a nipple pick. This essentially just extends a little wire that you can stick down the nipple to clear out any kind of obstructions. And so as opposed to muzzleloading with, say, like a Kentucky rifle where all you really need is just a cotton patch, with the shotgun, you need not just a over powder card, which from the looks of it, it just looks like a punched out piece of chipboard. Nothing fancy. I guess you could probably use cardboard as well. So the next thing that you'll need is a cushion wad, which this looks just like a compacted chipboard or cardboard. And you're also going to need an overshot card. And essentially this just holds the lead shot in the barrel over top. Of course, you're going to need some black powder, and I have mine in this powder horn here. and specifically 2F for large bore black powder shotguns. But of course, because this is a percussion shotgun, you're going to need your percussion caps. And these are size 11, so they fit the nipples on this shotgun. So this is just a random side note in editing, but there were just hundreds of these caterpillars all over the place, all over the table, crawling over the guns, and even myself, you'll see in a future clip. And last but not least, you need lead shot. And this is a 25-pound bag of number 8. Let's see if we can get a little look inside there, and hopefully I don't dump this whole thing out. There, you can kind of see in there. I'll scoop some out later. Oh God, that thing's heavy. All right, so we have everything we need to get started. Let's take a look at the loading process. So I've already fired a few shots through this, but I'm going to just make sure before we start loading that the vehicle is cleaned out, so we won't have any problems for the next shot. The first thing that we do always in loading black powder is the powder. So a funnel would probably help in this situation, but you can get by without. So the next thing that we're going to need is an over powder card like this. So we just place that in there like so. The next thing we need is a cushion wad with some lubrication. And I might be a little overzealous here with the boar butter, but I think that's okay. All right. So the next thing we need is our shot, which we're going to scoop with this, the same amount as we did our powder. All right. Now very carefully, now the final thing down the barrel is the overshot card. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but on my stick approximately where it should be when I'm all done loading. So we're gonna do just one barrel for right now. Load the ramrod back. And so the final thing for loading is the percussion cap. And remember, we're using number 11s. So you just slide that over the nipple. We're at half cock. And that's it, we're ready to fire. All right, now we bring it to full cock. And just for reference, the front trigger, this is the right barrel. The rear trigger is the left. So this is what the target looks like after just 3 shots. And I'm aiming for this general area, obviously. So what I'd like to do is to use this shotgun for trap shooting. And I'm not sure if this pattern would be good or not for that. Because the distances that you're shooting these clays at could be, 25, 30 yards or so. But I guess we'll just have to try with some testing. So although some may say not totally necessary, I always like to swab the barrel between shots. And so as you just saw, I just dropped that patch down this barrel here. And so, what am I to do? Well, I don't have a ramrod with a threaded end that I can attach one of these patch pullers to. Oh, wait a minute. This is the ramrod for the shotgun, right? Let's just flip this over. Oh, what's that? How convenient. So let's just thread this on. Let's get this patch back. There it is. I tell you what, Pedersoli, they've just thought of everything, haven't they? So now that we know how to load up one of the barrels, we're going to load both of them up and shoot them back to back. I have to say, I am a fan of the Pedersoli 10 gauge. That was a lot of fun. It is quite a hassle to load. You really have to make sure that you're paying attention because it's actually kind of tricky because when you're loading, you have your 2 barrels like this, right? Left, right. But when you're shooting, those barrels are like this. Left, right. So if you're not paying attention, these barrels flip on you. So that could lead to a double charge or putting one too many wads or cards down one barrel. But that's all part of the fun of muzzleloading, I think. But now I get the chance to do probably the least fun thing about black powder shooting, cleaning. Yep, so I got probably about an hour or so of cleaning to do when I get home. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.